step is to take each of our cords and fold them evenly in half. Then we're going to attach this folded end to our bag handles with a lark's head knot. So I'm just going to take that folded end over my strap, pull it around so there's this nice loop right behind the 2 strings, and then I'm going to take those 2 strings and send them through the loop, and I can then pull this nice and tight. And I'm just going to repeat this with all 12 of my ropes. Once you have all 12 ropes attached to your bag strap, we're going to tie 1 row of square knots along these lark's head knots just to help lock them into place. So to make a square knot, I will be using groupings of 4 ropes, and I'm going to start here with the 4 on the left. To make a square knot, I'm going to take the side on the right and cross it over the 2 ropes in the middle to form a loop. Then I'm going to take the side on the left to go over that right rope. I'm going to send it behind the 2 in the middle and up through the loop. And then I'm going to give these a nice tug to tighten. And then I'm going to take the side on the left to cross over the 2 in the middle to form my loop. The side on the right goes over that left cord, behind the 2 in the middle, and up through the loop. And then we pull those tight. And that is a square knot, and I'm just going to do this all the way along the top. So I move on to my next 4 ropes and just repeat these steps. Just like that. Once you have made 6 square knots up top, we are going to make another row of square knots right below. But this time we'll be doing an alternating pattern, which means I'm going to leave off the 2 ropes here on the far left end and take the next 4 cords. And these 4 cords, we're doing 2 from each previous square knot to connect them in an alternating pattern. Then we just make our square knot as we did before. Move on to the next 4 ropes and just repeat. Make 1 more row of alternating square knots, and this time I'm going to leave a little bit of a gap between my last row, just about a thumb's width of space. We will repeat all of these steps on our second bag handle. Alright, so once you have both sides of your bag complete, you should have 2 even pieces. And it's now time to connect these pieces together. So I'm just laying them next to each other, and I'm going to take 2 cords on the far right from one bag and 2 cords from the far left of the other. And we're just going to connect these with these 4 ropes with another square knot. So this is going to be the start of a 4th row of square knots. What I like to do is make sure I have a bit of a gap because we are now starting the official net pattern of our net bag. So I'm just going to leave probably about 1.5 inches of space, maybe just 1 inch, and that will be my netting. So I'm just going to tie a square knot as normal right here. Now that I have it connected, I'm going to finish off that 4th row of square knots. So I'm just going to start from the middle and go to the left, and then once I finish the left side, I'm going to move on and finish the right side. Make sure you leave the same amount of space for each square knot you make. You should have a 4th row completed on both sides with 2 cords on both sides of your bag that aren't attached to a square knot. So what it's time to do now is fold one side of your bag on top of the other. Now to make sure you keep the outer sides on the outside, fold the right side here behind the side on the left. Okay, so your lark's head knot should be on the outside on both sides of your bag, and just lay them right on top of each other. Now find those 4 cords that were not connected, and we are going to tie another square knot to finish out this 4th row and connect the other side of the bag. So just tie them in a square knot as you were doing before, leaving that same amount of space that you were leaving. And now your bag is connected on both sides. Now we can make our 5th row of square knots. So I'm going to use an alternating pattern as before and tie the same amount of space between your square knots as you left in your last row, or you can start to leave more space too. It just kind of is a personal preference. Now once you've finished one side of your bag on that 5th row, you're going to just take your bag and flip it over. And now we can continue making our square knots on that 5th row on that other side of the bag. And that is the method we'll be using to finish out this entire bag, is just fill one side, flip your bag, fill the other side, flip your bag, and so on. Now we move on to our next row, just repeating the same steps. And ideally, you want your rows on both sides to completely match up with each other. So again, just be careful to make sure your spacings are even all the way around, and you should have no trouble. And here is my bag with 10 rows of square knots starting all the way at the top where we made that first row. You can make more rows than 10 if you would like your bag to be a bit longer. Otherwise, it is time to finish up the bag. And I'm going to end this bag with some tassels at the end. Alright, go ahead and separate the end of your bag into 4 sections of 3 square knots, or 12 ropes. We're going to tie each bundle and secure it with a gathering knot. To make a gathering knot, I'm going to bring in another rope, and I'm going to fold this rope in half so that I have a short little tail and a long piece of rope, and then this nice loop that hangs below. And I'm just going to sit this right on top of the bundle of ropes. Now I'm going to take this long piece of rope and I'm going to start wrapping it around all of this bundle, making sure that short piece of rope sticks up top. You can wrap this to the desired thickness. I wrapped mine 6 times around. Now I'm going to take that long piece of rope and stick it inside the loop. Then I'm going to take that short piece that's sticking up and tug on it, and this is going to pull the knot through the wrap to secure it. So just pull it until it's all underneath the ropes. Then we're going to take a pair of scissors and trim off the end here up top. Then what I like to do is pull each rope smoothly through the gathering knot to pull it all down so everything sits tug against that knot. Just like that. And now I'm going to repeat this with the remaining 3 sections. Just like that. And now our very last step is to just take our scissors and trim our tassels to the desired length and to just even them up if needed.